Good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, July 18th, and we're here for a work session. And if we would all please rise to the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody. Okay, a couple quick announcements. Channel 22, which had been down for a couple of days, we needed a new part, hardware part, and we got it in, and it's up and running, and there shouldn't be any more problems. So if you're tuning in live, you will also be able to stream our programs as you normally could prior to the malfunction. So we're up and going. Thank you to our IT team for working us through that problem. Also, the extreme heat earlier this week has subsided, and all recreational programming is back to normal scheduling, as are the beach hours back to normal hours. So, and it looks like a really nice weather weekend, so get out and use the beaches and come downtown and spend some money and all those good things, because we have a wonderful town and we have some new restaurants downtown. I highly recommend you stop around and check a couple of them out and enjoy the town. Okay. The carnival is going on. The Jamesport Fire Department Carnival. We had the parade last night, and the carnival's going on through Sunday, and that's always a great time down there. The sausage and peppy sandwiches are Saturday. Oh, Saturday then. Sorry, not Sunday. Saturday night fireworks. Okay.
But sausage and peppers every night.
Every night.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Make sure.
And always a good time. Always a good time down there. It's a rite of passage for summer, I always say. And not for nothing, but we have some birthdays in the house today. And we have Miss Devin Higgins, the Deputy Supervisor's birthday is today. Devin, can you come on up here for a second?
I think this is camera worthy.
Oh, this is definitely camera.
I got you a special crown.
This is really nice.
Yes,
Wow.
and it matches your outfit. It's a happy birthday, and
Color
if you need to
coordinated.
take off the crown, you can wear your little ribbon.
I'm gonna wear it all.
Birthday girl.
The sad thing is, she really does like this stuff and would wear this on a regular
It's like
day.
she knew, right?
Right.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much. Thank you,
Happy
guys.
birthday, Ted.
And
But we're not done yet.
my wonderful legislative secretary, Joanne Cannon, who's watching us upstairs manning the office, it's her birthday on Sunday.
So I have a ribbon for her
So we
too.
have
She's
a
gonna
ribbon
get to
for
wear.
her too. And Councilman Rothwell's birthday is on Monday.
So you get a little
So,
extra special. First of all, every birthday boy needs a birthday boy
I'll take a
ribbon. And while you're out on your birthday, you get to wear this special gold.
Nice.
I'm going to let you.
Go ahead, come here.
Okay.
He deserves that.
I think so, right?
Is that a skirt?
This might, I'm not.
I don't know. I'm a little scared right now.
Slip one arm through. I don't know how to do this.
What
yet.
is this?
Okay, one arm.
What is it?
Oh, it might. Hold on. Tuck. Okay. All right. It's my birthday.
I'm
Okay.
I'm glad it wasn't a skirt
All
either.
right.
The picture up there, Ken, that picture up
I'm
there,
with
if
you,
you put a
Alex.
sweater
Oh, there's the
on and wore
picture.
this.
Looked a little too much.
That is where I will be Wednesday morning.
Fabulous.
Ah,
Did we get
nice.
the other one too? Did we see the other picture? Yes. Oh, thank you. Yes, I was lying to you this morning. You're correct.
Yes, that's
Awesome.
our home in Bermuda.
Nice.
So, we have some great acoustics in this
Thank
room,
you.
so let's go with happy birthday to everybody, and happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Debbie, Joanne, and Ken. Happy birthday to you. Enjoy the day, people. Okay, that's all we have
Diane.
for today, so thank you everybody for coming in. All right, we are on our open session of our work session. First matter will be with the police department, matters surrounding the monthly report with Chief HEGERMILLER. Good morning. Good morning, Chief.
I'm just not real.
September 23rd, if you want to jot it down.
Right around the corner.
You might be sorry you said that.
Yeah, actually, check the agendas. Okay, June monthly report, police report. Hopefully everyone got a copy.
Yep.
Yes.
There is one typo on it to start, so down by charges by sector should be 89, not 84, which is reflective of the charges above, which is 89, so.
Gotcha.
And that's actually on the last page of your report that I send you. This page here outlines charges by sector.
Gotcha.
We're in good shape for June. Mostly everything is down. Calls received down, domestics relatively down, status quo I would say. Motor vehicle accidents up slightly. Deer strikes, Councilman Kern is not here. Reported deer strikes are up.
Can I just make a note to that? I presume the police department are calling into the highway department, but I just want to say from being out during the night, like when it's been a pleasure working with the Waiting River Fire Department doing ambulance runs and so forth, but like I've seen the deer on the road. It impresses me that like at 8 o'clock in the morning they're like gone. Like the highway department, between teaming up with the police department, the communication, like they're removed right away, and it's noticeable. And I think like it's great teamwork.
It goes right on the day pad
Right.
at headquarters, and then they call in
And
highway.
it must be like their first agenda, because like, you return later on during the day and pass them by and they're gone. So good work.
Summonses are down, arraignments are up slightly, charges are down, arrests are down. Criminal incidents are, I'm putting an asterisk on this one, down, relatively the same as last month, and I think it's reflective of the way we're counting it right now. We're counting it, so the 23 numbers are QED, that's our records management system. 24 numbers are now niche, records management system. So we're trying to count it the same way we counted it, which I don't know is that correct. So I'm reviewing all the criminal incidents for the month of June.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, so it said in 2023, it's 228.
Right.
And now it's just 124.
Right, I think 228 was a high number.
It's less than half.
Right, because the month before I think it was 160. So I think relatively as far as May to June, it's about the same. So I'm thinking that at least we're counting it the same way, but I'm saying that it definitely needs to be looked at and figure out what's going on. We do submit the report now. Used to be UCR, used to go
Right.
to the state, Uniform Crime Report. It is now NIBR's submission, which is National Incident-Based Reporting System. So that's actually, in the old UCR system, it counted the top crime. Like if you had a burglary and subsequent crimes
Right.
attached to that burglary, it was only the burglary that was counted. NIBR's counts everything. So I think we are going to see an increase in numbers as far as criminal incidents, but I'm still working that out.
Okay. Arcan?
Our NIBR submission was, June was our first NIBR submission to the state, which is much easier than the UCR report. You only really have to push a button to get it. It goes to the state. The state looks at it. We had less than 2% errors on our report, which was really good. We have to stay below, I think it's 5% consecutively, I think for 6 months before they actually accept the report. So we're starting off on a good foot with that.
Do we have more sectors now than last year?
Basically the same. You have 2 sectors down on Main Street, 607, 608, which is east and west respectively, so.
Over on Lookout.
Right.
But overall in the town though, did we add a sector this year?
No. Basically, the downtown sector was split into 2, 608, 608. It used to be all 607, now it's 608, 607.
Also, you have, on your patrol squad, you'll have 20 units now.
Correct, more
620
20
units,
units, right.
which is a
With
spare
more-
unit that floats. It's like a floating car, or it fills in if somebody's on vacation, which we didn't always have before when our numbers were
Yeah,
lower.
we're definitely.
We just had the sectors covered, so there is actually another sector car out there, and sometimes even 2.
Right,
So,
definitely more units out there.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if we were like, based on volume of calls, if we were dividing up or creating an additional sector or something like that.
All 20 units. Non-criminal incidents are up, revenues are down, and charges we talked about before.
That's what I mean, that's like very bizarre. It's like it's
Yeah, right,
1,000 more.
it's-
Something's wrong with
right,
the numbers.
definitely.
2712, 2,712 in 2024 and
I didn't actually, I should
19
have,
out 2 in 2023.
Right.
Something's off.
I wish I had my May report to compare that number to May. I'll have to take a look at that when I get back, to 2712. Because relatively speaking, I'm gonna say it's probably the same as May.
It's just,
Right.
cool. Right, the numbers just
Definitely.
seem something's,
Definitely, and that's definitely reflective of the change in records management
Yeah.
systems. What else? ODs, none for June, which
All
is
right,
good.
that's good.
We talked about NIBRs. We received our $1.47 million for body cams from the state, so that's currently in our accounts. We'll be meeting with the vendor as far as proceeding forward as far as getting them, so.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So we've got to put something together too with the contract with the PBA for usage.
correct.
Okay.
The one, I think we're gonna come lower, actually, the 1.47 million, which would be to our benefit, because maybe we can get something else with them.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
That's excellent.
technology-wise.
That's great. That was great. Good news.
I think that's about it.
Chief, I just, oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to say thank you. The number of officers that were at Reflections of the Art Park was great. There was a sergeant and 3 or 4 other officers there that night. It gave the community a nice sense of comfort
We
there
got it
during
covered.
the concerts. It was great.
And I would like to thank you for the speed sign at Iron Pier. The residents reached out to me and said thank you. And Reeves Park, the residents are very happy that there's been more patrol in the area, and they've noticed that the ATV is on the beach now and
Right.
patrolling, and they asked me to tell you thank you.
We're watching a lot down there, and they report a lot above too, so. Yeah. And Councilman Kern wanted me to bring up about scams. If it's too good to be true.
It's too good to be
Right,
true.
Exactly, so be careful out there. Any questions, call a family member, or speak to the bank teller or whatever. Or worst comes worst, call the police department and we'll take care of it, so. You had that sign out there that said
Yeah.
GT or whatever it
Yep.
was. Yeah, that was all untrue, so.
Oh, Chief, I also wanted to mention, thank you very much, the report you gave about the vape scams. Speaking of scam, it made me
Yeah.
think of that. Number of arrests for people with the alcohol and also the illegal drug products. That was great.
We're hitting them hard, so.
A couple of months in a row now.
Yep.
There was an article in Newsday, I think it was this week, regarding crime stats on Long Island are way down by 44%, I think, according to the governor's office. But she had pumped, I think, $50 million into Nassau, Suffolk, and the town of Hempstead, I think, all participated in the study with this. And the money that they felt was very well spent because crime has been reduced island-wide by a huge margin, which was nice to see.
I think they were focusing on larcenies too. I
It
think
might
they
have
had a
been.
larceny
It might have been.
Patrol out there, so.
Yeah. So good stuff. Good
All
stuff
good
all
stuff.
around.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you, sir.
No problem.
Excellent.
Appreciate it. All right, next up, we have code enforcement matters surrounding the monthly report with Senior Investigator Richard Downs. Welcome, sir. How are you?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good. All right, let's get into it. Complaint investigations. We had 84 new complaint investigations for the month of June. We're up on the high grass and high weeds complaint. We had 10. We've opened up 4 new overcrowded housing complaints. And we had a lot of residential no building permits this month. We had 20 of those.
Seems
Lot
to be
of-
contagious.
Yeah, 'tis the season to build. A lot of people may not have gotten the building permits, so we're looking into that. We have 76 cases still under investigation. That's from January 1st to now. We've issued 75 summonses for the month of June. Okay? The ticketable infractions for that are no rental permits, no building permits, no certificate of occupancy, noise. We had some animal dog complaints. That's also a noise complaint. Parking in the non-driveway areas. We had litter, of both residential and commercial. Of course, we had the weeds, the rubbish, violations of your approved site plan. Those are those commercial establishments that not taking care of their parking lots. We had unsafe buildings, dangerous conditions, overcrowding. We had some stop work order summonses that we issued. We had swimming pools without the proper fencing, unregistered vehicles, unlawful signs, accessory buildings and structures, setbacks at zoning, and some property maintenance code violations of New York State Property Maintenance Code. Rentals, we continue to inspect these rental properties. We have inspected approximately 128 residential type structures for the month of June and 112 apartment units. Fees, we've collected $32,600 in rental fees, and our totaling revenue to date is $151,550 in rental fees.
So Rich, we're halfway through the year. How are you doing in terms of overall inspections of all rental units in the town? So we got half of them all done, or how we fall? We ahead of the game, behind? How are we looking?
Yeah, we're on par. We're a little below. We just hired the new guy, Connor. He started Monday.
Okay.
He's replacing George. So as soon as he gets trained, we're going to get get him going on the rental inspections, so we can catch up a little bit. So yeah. Since we moved to the annual inspections, it's a little bit of a catch-up game.
Well, we said that it would increase the workload, but we were going to increase staffing as well.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure we stay on that.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. So I think we're doing pretty well with it, though.
Good.
Yep.
Very good.
Can I ask with the rental, no rental permits, was that Airbnbs as well? Illegal Airbnbs?
No. Those were not illegal Airbnbs. Those were just the properties that we had registered that failed to apply, or properties that never applied for rental permits.
Have you caught any of them, the Airbnb people?
We're still actively pursuing those.
Okay.
As you know, that's a bit of a snag sometimes, because most of the times when we go to these properties, people aren't always forthcoming with the information. And we do have to make sure that we get all the factual and the proper information in order to take it to court. So, but we still have some open investigations pending with those.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
No, I think that's
Okay.
it.
All right.
Thank you, Rich.
You're
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Next up, we have Justice Court matters surrounding the monthly report. And Councilor CERU, you look a little different today, but
Really got a haircut.
yeah,
No, good morning.
good morning. I know she's off.
She's on vacation. So, filling in, and if everybody has the report.
I have a written report on that.
You do? No?
You?
That's the town clerk.
No,
I did report?
Justice report.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, we didn't get that.
no.
Okay. All right, well, I'll summarize it. Parking fines that Mr. was able to secure for the month of June were $1,240. It looks like we took...
Oh, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You have it?
Nope.
No?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We took dispositions on the neighborhood quality of life type violations, which are the no CO, no building permit, the 251 overgrown grass charges, and no certificate of occupancy, littering to Chapter 245. That totaled $3,365, and that's when we say these fines, these are fines that are set by the judge after the defendant takes a disposition, or we get a finding of guilt on a trial. So the payment would be a separate question that we would follow up with in justice court. Typically, the judges will give time to pay the fines. If the defendant doesn't pay, By that date, the court will enter a judgment against them that then gets sent over to the county clerk's office. In terms of tickets issued by our fire marshals, we took dispositions for $2,815. There was one public urination conviction with the total fine of $315. That would be a max penalty of $250 under the code, and then but then you'd add a surcharge. The surcharges that we're taking is
the mandatory?
$65. Yeah, the mandatory surcharges. And then we took dispositions of $1,370 on open alcohol cases. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those, and those all carried the $65 surcharges as well.
Why is the one $215?
Is drinking more expensive.
Probably the
Product.
fine, the offer that was made was $150 instead of 100. So if it's 165, that indicates that an offer was made. It was probably a first offense, and so the offer that we typically make on the first offense is $100, and then the $65 would be on top of that. The one that's $215, that was probably somebody that came back with 2 open alcohol charges, and they resolved both for like a combined $150 fine and then the $65 surcharge.
Can we, like, perhaps next month, we'll be able to get an update on the fees collected through the mandatory surcharges and like what like divisions they account for, whether money has been additionally collected for parks and rec, building and grounds, that type of thing. So where the mandatory, we had categorized the mandatory surcharges based on the violation.
Yeah, so we implemented Chapter 2, Chapter 117, which sets forth all the surcharges. There's a fund for like water quality, and then there was a fund for recreation and human services, and then there was one other one that I just don't have it
So
on my tongue right now.
maybe begin to like create like a categorization so they go into that, so it can be monitored, and if it's simply like Parks and Rec or something, it's as simple as, hey man, there's enough money here to buy a picnic table downtown and put it by, Heidi Bear Way, let's use it, you know what I mean, like little things
Yeah,
like that we can
absolutely.
see,
Yep.
Okay,
So we can get a report on what should be happening is once Chapter 117 is adopted, there should have been the 3 funds created, and then those should be getting funded with the surcharges as they make their way through justice court. So I'll follow up with accounting on that and take it from there.
Good to see how we're doing that. I think it should work out well over the course of a year.
Okay.
Just on that point too, I guess it's more for the chief, but in their category for the police department, I see in the top of the town justice, it says all crime charges and penal. That would be part of the PD stat, prosecutions by the DA's office. I don't know, but I don't see a disposition stat with the police department on criminal charges. Maybe ask them to add it to theirs.
They would have to probably get that information from the DA's
Right,
office.
so that we could just know how things are progressing, how many cases are pending, guilty versus not guilty dispositions.
Okay. The ones that are prosecuted in justice court, we could probably get that information
Sure.
without going to the DA's office, but some of the ones, they have to go to county court, to charge felonies, things like
Oh,
that.
yeah, no, I'm just referring to the misdemeanors that are handled here
Okay.
in justice court.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions?
Anybody else have anything else?
All righty, thank you,
Okay.
sir.
You're very welcome.
Appreciate it. Next up is an all-new one that we've added. This is the town clerk, matters surrounding the monthly report.
Hi, everybody.
We felt we were leaving you out of the mix, so we
Yeah,
had
you were.
to,
Yeah, I went through all the Diane's notes and there was none, so it's the
Right.
first time. I think you all got, yep, I think you got everything I got as long as you
Yep.
get through it. Well, we all know what the clerk's office does, but for the public that don't know, pretty much everything that comes into town hall comes through our office, whether it's a FOIL request or a special permit, course, handicap permits, marriage, anything vital records, marriage records, death records, birth records, dog licensing. And I have all that on my monthly report. The FOIL requests are the biggest ones. There, 429 came in just last month alone. So, and we route them we route them where we have to go, and the opponents are pretty good about within 5 days responding. You know, most of the responses are, we got your request, and it gives us 20 days to respond. So I don't know whether you instituted expediting, but they're very good at responding. I very rarely get a second call back that people haven't been responded to. Our other biggest one, of course, are death requests and death certificates, which is a bigger part of what we do. But we handle everything. Fishing licenses are big. Hunting licenses are going to start August 1st, so that's going to be a big influx in our office. Games of chance. And of course, the town boards, you know, getting the agenda together, getting the resolutions together, making sure the public hearings are posted, and not only on the web, but on the board, so that people can see what's coming up, and getting it posted in the paper, which we're very good at. And that's what we do on a daily basis. As far as fees that we collect in the town clerk's office, all of the fees, if they're not set by state, are set by town code. A yard sale permit to date is $5. There are towns, South Fold charges $15 for theirs, and it's per event. Other towns don't charge any, so I mean, we don't have a lot of revenue sources other than what the state sets for death certificates and marriage certificates and marriage licenses, and then everything else is set by town code. I know we were looking to increase some of the revenue, but I don't know where that will take place, and that'll be a separate discussion down the road. But as of last month, we know we collected $10,523, and of that, our local share was $9,199. $1,300 that wasn't part of the overall had to go to New York State Department of Health. That's for our marriage licenses, state controllers for any game of chance, bingo licenses, and of course the Ags and Markets for our dog licensing, and environmental conservation is for our fishing licenses and hunting licenses that we give. So that's basically it. I mean, it's a very active office, we always try to treat everybody. I mean, we're pretty much first line for most of the public that comes in. Even when they don't belong there, they come and ask where they should go. So it's a good receiving area. And we try to direct them the best we can. So it's really a service-oriented office. I mean, we just treat everybody the same. What do you need? How can we help you? And that's it. So,
Is it true that of the 429 FOIL requests that Alec Lewis put 400 of them in?
He puts one in about once a week. And we've learned that we try to put him on the top because he's very diligent about making sure that, hey, I know I put that in, you know. And we do handle claims that come into the town, and I guess the last time he requested that, we sent him the receipts and not the actual claims, so the town attorney's gonna take over that, because I receipt it, and then it goes to where it's gotta go, to town attorney, to BMA, and other areas, so, although I have copies of them. And that's about it.
Very good.
What, is your birthday today too?
Not yet, Monday.
Monday?
Yeah,
They're gonna be speed limit.
not quite.
Okay.
Still hovering underneath it.
Okay, good for you.
And then when that happens, I'll just, I'll go to I'll lobby the state to increase it to 75 or
Well, I'm
65.
gonna
Just keep
be
going.
the throughway speed limit here pretty soon, so.
Very good. Well, thank you,
Oh,
sir.
you're quite welcome.
Very informative.
All right,
Jim, great
you
job.
have a great day.
You too. All right, next up, we have the Citizens Cooperative Development Team, known as CCDT, the organizational chart and overview, and that's going to be with Mike Foley, Barbara Blass, Takwi Turchin,
Thank you, man.
and we are missing one member today of this committee, Mark Hobner, who couldn't make today's meeting. But these are the four people that I've been working with since shortly after the first of the year, because I had mentioned I wanted to put something together regarding EPCAL and the future of it. And this is the start of what we've done. We've met roughly, Mike, every 6 to 8 weeks?
About that, Tim.
Yeah.
Actually, we sat down just before your inauguration
Yes, we did.
to talk about the concepts,
Right.
and you were great on it.
This is quite the team.
It is quite the team because it also involves Frank Mancini, Ken Testa, our engineer, Frank Mancini, our water guy, Glenn Thomas, and who am I forgetting? Anne Marie Prudente, right. And it's been, I'm very happy with the direction it's going in and how it's going, and how it formed and how it kind of has now taken on a little bit of a life of its own. And I think it's going to be so helpful for us down the road with the sale or development of the EPCAL property. And it feeds into the community, having community input, and it keeps them up to date as to what we're doing now. And that's why we're bringing it public now, because we've got our feet on the ground with a little bit. I think we're pretty firm with the direction we're going. And I'm going to turn it over to Mike, because you are the expert on this. So
We're co-experts.
we're co-experts. Okay.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Let's start with, none of this happens without Tim Hubbard. Let's start there. The fact that he's opened things up the way he has, the fact that he was open to communicating with the community for years, but was stifled by the organizational structure. With him sitting in the supervisor's chair, we're not really inhibited anymore. And he's really pushed that hard. So we talked about how we could better improve EPCAL, seeing that it came back into our lap when 555 was thrown out in October 2023. So this is less than a month before the election. Tim had some ideas. I had some ideas. I was not part of EPCAL Watch, but I was supportive. We knew what the problems were. We know what the issues were. And of course, the major problem was 555 couldn't be trusted. And they threw a couple of proposals at us that was just fluff, which is why they certainly were deemed unqualified, and rightfully so. So now we're in litigation. So rather than sitting on our laurels and waiting for the litigation to finalize, we wanted to hit the ground running. So the best way we felt we could do that was, number one, establish a civic group, a small civic group, that could handle process, communications, environment, and coordination. So the best person I felt for environmental and renewable energy things was Mark Halbner. He's involved really all over the place, not just in the bioregion, but nationally, and he has international connections. So he was great on that. He's also our IT guy. So there's a little fumble yesterday because he's not here. That would not have happened had he been here. He would have relieved me from my incompetent duties as a tech guy. So Mark was a key to this. And Barbara Blass, with her experience at the town board level, at the planning board level, a vociferous reader that reads everything, understands it, and can convey it, zoning, codes, everything else. I didn't think we could have anybody else better at our side of the table. Now, we're at the same table, but we need to, in my mind, in order to make sure the public knows about this, is there needs to be a civic component as well as a staff and an elected component. It gives, in my opinion, these civics the ability to discuss things in a proactive and not a reactive way, and we'll go over the flow chart in a little while. So Barbara at the table is a critical component of this. Communication. All of the civics always felt at a disadvantage for years because they never really saw a project until they felt it was in completion. So now there was a discussion, not that it was completed, but that was the perception. As you know, perception is reality, especially in politics. So to get the civics on board from the cradle to the grave, from its infancy to its finished product, we established a line of communications that Takwi, I felt, was best suited to handle. Takwi, as everybody here knows, has been a civic leader for years. She's a great communicator. She has tremendous street cred, not only with the civics, but with the citizenry. So TACWI is charged with getting out information as it comes, and that was going to be from the start to the finish of this process. So that's how I spoke to Tim about it. Tim felt good about the team. And then we decided the importance of this. I mean, EPCAL again went from out of our control to totally in our control. That the future of that land is totally in our hands. So what did we want to accomplish on this? Well, we wanted to make sure that there was great revenue. We wanted to make sure that there was habitat protection. We wanted to make sure that we had living wage jobs emanating out of EPCAL. And we wanted to have a societal impact, a positive impact on everybody. So that was the structure of the team on our side. And sitting down with Tim, Tim saw the importance of this committee, and he decided to become the chairman of this committee. And to my knowledge, no supervisor has ever chaired a committee in the history of this town. Tim saw the importance of it. We couldn't have anybody else going to the town board as a liaison to this committee than the supervisor. He would be there from the start to the finish. We could hash things out, bring it to you guys to talk about, have us here to discuss things as well. So that was how this whole thing started. Of course, you got to start with a vision statement. So when you look at the revisioning EPCAL, again, Mark was a major component of this, but the staff also contributed to the final revision plan. Anne Marie Prudenti and Dawn were especially active in this. They made a number of positive changes to it. Took a few things out that we felt might have been a little bit too broad in our goals for the time being. Before we could rule the world, we figured we'd rule EPCAL. So what you're looking at for revisioning is really what we believe is going to be the prototype of what will qualify for placement at EPCAL. So it's a one-pager, but I think just the vision is the important part of this. The fact that we're looking primarily for revenue. We want it to be a model for dozens of creative initiatives. We want EPCAL to provide a safe and healthy and comfortable place benefiting the entire community. And we want it to become an educational, recreational destination experience for visitors. And EPCAL is an integral part of the entire town for which all citizens can be proud. So the mission, the preserved habitat, and the outcomes will emanate from the vision, which is we want the best technology, we want the best innovation, and we want to be able to provide that in a coordinated way so that all the parts of this eventually fit together, understanding we're not going to develop 600 acres in one fell swoop. This is going to take time. There's obviously a lot of issues with the DEC. The town board has to decide exactly how this is going to go. Is it going to be some of it sold, some of it leased, whatever that's going to be, and how do we roll this out? So we believe that if we can use this as our goal, that only good things can come out of EPCAL, and the community will be positive towards it. So if there are any questions on that before we go into the flow chart, I'll be happy to take them. Moving forward, let's look at the flow chart. So the proposed development plan, starting from the left to the right, the proposed development plan is anything that comes on the radar that you guys feel might be of interest to EPCAL. People will come to you. People will certainly come to Bob. Bob has stated many people have come to him. Ken, you've been a recipient of a number of ideas. So getting the proposed development plan in front of the CCDT to discuss what they're looking to do so that we can have a dialogue at its initial state, even before a pre-submission conference, to see exactly what they're looking to do, to make sure they understand what the qualifications are for placement at EPCAL. And to answer questions, I think the first thing it's going to do is it's going to cut the town board's work substantially, because only legitimate things will come before you. There have been some things that have come before you in the work session that were not ready for prime time. You spent a half hour, 45 minutes, and found out that the applicant didn't have an idea of what was required. I think probably the best example, most recent example of that was that 100,000 square foot thing in EPCAL where Bob brought them to the table, and Ken, from his experience in the hockey thing, saw 3 or 4 things that they were not aware of. and it put them at a disadvantage. I think it embarrassed them a little bit. And it ultimately was a waste of your time because they didn't understand the requirements for an application. So I think these are things that we could be a part of to kind of cut out the stuff that really is not ready for prime time and keep it from wasting your time. So that plan would come before the entire CCDT, which again, if you look at the names, Tim, I don't know if you picked a planning person yet, but we discussed all of this. And, you know, we've got Dawn Thomas, we've got Anne Marie Prudenti, Ken Testa, Frank Mancini, whoever Tim picks as the planning person on this board, and Tim. So it'll be 6 people from the town side that are elected or salaried. And there will be 4 people from the civic side, if you will, that we don't get paid. We don't have a business interest in anything here. There's no interest in making a dime off of this. We have one goal, and that's for the betterment of the town and its future. The 2 of us have grandchildren. Well, we both have a long history in this town. We only want what's best for this town. So to me, the best way of handling that is to make sure that the core team has no conflict of interest, has no personal interests in what happens here. Now, the subcommittees that Tim and I contemplated can have anybody on there that you guys want from your side. And this is where we're going to bring dozens of people from the footprint that are subject matter experts in their areas of expertise, that can sit at a co-chair position at a subcommittee with another co-chair from the staff side and the people that they want to put there as subject matter experts on a project before us and discuss it. Work everything out there, hopefully come up with a say, yeah, this is going to work well, or you got to go back and get this and this and this done before you approach the board with it for a pre-submission conference, and then we move forward. The development assessment tool that they talk about here is primarily based on this revisioning EPCAL, okay? There will be additional development tools that are going to be coming out over the coming months, maybe even years, as we see what comes up by area of architecture or design or energy or habitat preservation, that we can move additional assessments in there to help us get what we want in EPCAL. And again, it's what we want. It's not what the developer wants. It's what's in the best interest of the town, not the best profit margins of the developer. And these are the things that we really have to keep in the forefront, that if we do that, I think it's going to be a very successful venture. So you're looking at the structure. CCDT chair will be Tim. I'll be the co-chair on the civic side. Tim had a choice to make. I don't know if you made that or not, Tim. I don't want to put you on the spot.
No, I didn't yet.
Okay.
I didn't yet.
So those are the core people in there. And then when you look at the subcommittees, these are just some suggestions I threw at Tim, most of them from Mark and from Barbara. They're in alpha order, not priority order, so you take a look at the subcommittees, and that's how we see things going. The civics on the right is really not an accurate depiction of what we're going to be doing here. The civics are going to be involved in this from start to finish. So we put it on the right side to just let everybody know that once we see a proposed development, in an interval, we will meet, or probably via Zoom, with civic presidents to let them know what's going on. We will entrust the civic presidents to get it down to their membership level. Tim has requested, and Takwi has already agreed, this is not limited to civics or civic boards. Every member in the footprint, every resident in the footprint is going to have access to communicate. And we have set up a communications channel that is via a Gmail account, that is revisionepcal@gmail.com. I will say that again in case you want to write it down. revisionepcal@gmail.com. Anybody can go into that email and leave us messages, comments, suggestions, and criticisms. It is manned by Takwi, myself, Mark, and Barbara. We rolled it out about 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago, with very little success with the RMPC president. So we're back to the drawing board, and we did another run through about 3 weeks later. And that went fairly wrinkle-free. And by the time we gave it to you guys, the bugs were out of it. So I can tell you that the initial rollout resulted in about 18 emails. All of them positive. All of them thankful that they had access to ask questions. Only 2 asked questions that were very benign questions that we answered. Zero criticism. Zero criticism from the presidents of the RMPC board, which constructs of Sid Bale for Wading River, Tarqui for Greater Calverton, Cindy for the Heart of Riverhead, myself as the only non-president for Sound Park Heights, Linda Pritzer for Northville, and Laura Jen Smith for South Jamesport. Those are the core civics that are represented by RMPC. But there are other civics that I think Tarqui is probably going to talk to Tim about freeing up the civic identities for the quarterly civic roundtables. Give them an invitation to come in here. And of course, any non-civic member that hears about this, either by looking at it on the website or calling any of us or emailing people, will have direct access to the same information we're giving to everybody on a townwide basis. So that's the critical component of this, for the people. And again, take a look at the positive impact that Tim has had on the town board meetings, because he's opened things up. He's given people more access to information on the website. We're now getting 3 or 4 days on town board resolutions rather than 3 or 4 hours. Opened up pre-submission conferences, all the things that have enhanced communication in the town. If they have not been recognized by the people, they should be. And certainly anytime they talk to us, they are. So the negative connotation that we had at the end of the last supervisor's term was a difficult thing to overcome. I thought it was going to take a year. I think it took Tim about 2 months. So again, that's all a reflection on him. And we believe that putting this together as the conduit for forming EPCAL as we have time before the litigation is won by the town is our best way of getting us ready to hit the ground running on this thing.
So Mike, you gonna have somebody take minutes at these meetings?
I'm sure there will be. I'm sure that Tim had Debbie there for one of them, I believe. But to answer your question, like any committee, there will be minutes taken.
It's just good because it would keep the other board members apprised of what discussions are taking place, what proposals before you. So as we travel around town, they won't be like,
No. Listen, Tim. I'm sure that Tim equals or betters the communication at the town board level that he does at the civic and resident level. Tim's going to keep you informed on all this, and I assume, actually, there was a 2-pager that got posted due to my inefficiency, incompetence in technology. It had kind of a layout of what Mark thought would happen, and you were involved, and Kern was involved, and Prudenti was involved, kind of, for want of a better term, being on the subcommittees that dealt with these things. I think you were mentioned on recreation. Well, listen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat, because I have a copy of that. And I can tell you exactly what, and I shared this with Tim when we went over this maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. And, what Mark had come, because again, this looks good, but what do these subcommittees mean? What do they entail? And this was Mark's concept. So for you, let's see, emerging tech, he had Kern. That would involve agrivoltaics, AD, pyrolysis, which sounds like a dental problem to me, 5G 60, data centers and chips. For infrastructure, they had Frank Mancini and Kelly looking at water and other things. Habitat preservation, Anne Marie. Recreation, Rothwell. So these were people we felt Tim was probably going to put in the subcommittee to discuss these things and coordinate those things that are of most interest to you and that you guys want to put up there. But all of this, Dawn for marketing, CDA using our tool work, and I felt the IDA would also be marketing. But these are things that the IDA would have to be agreeable to in order to help us in this venture. So all of this will obviously take shape over the coming months and years. And I'm saying years because, listen, the EPCAL's been fallow for how long? So if we can put something together in 3 or 4 years, start rolling this thing out, I'm assuming we're gonna win this case within the next year or so. I'm disappointed it wasn't thrown out. As far as I'm concerned, it had absolutely no standing in the courts, but you know how courts make money. You know how lawyers make money. Things drag out whether they're called for or not. So hopefully within the next year or two, it's finished, and by then, we've got a whole bunch of things we've already looked at that we all believe are gonna work here. The community will be involved in it, so when it hits the ground, they're supportive. They're not asking questions that we have the ability to answer in progress, and that's where we feel we have the best benefit for the town board.
So do you have like set up times or so if somebody has a project and they would like to sit down with you, how does one coordinate that? Is it just through
You
your
would
Gmail?
contact them or me,
Okay.
and we would set up schedule a date for them to come in and sit with the committee.
You know, one of the things that I thought were gonna be important here is, you know, we're looking only for EPCAL. We believe a lot of the policies and practices we're looking to implement have a role in everything. But we're focusing on EPCAL. The four of us are focusing on EPCAL. That doesn't mean that Barbara and Talk, we might not be doing other things involving the town. But as far as EPCAL is concerned, this is our sole focus, and to that end, we felt, instead of having a work session with 3 or 4 things and only one thing EPCAL related, we have the luxury of time here. So if we tried to schedule an EPCAL work session for all things EPCAL, anybody considering an application, set up a separate work session that we could sit down and talk every 3 or 4 months. Like Tim said, I meant to look this morning, but my printer ran out of ink. I had to by the way, I did that myself. I didn't get marked for that. Put it another way. It's the 3rd or 4th time I've done it. Where was I before I made a joke? Where was I going?
The timing of the meetings.
Yeah, I think we were trying to meet no more than every 6 weeks. And I think it's probably gone to 7, 8, and 9 weeks because of a number of things. You want to have a substantive meeting, and if you don't think there's enough meat on the bone, we push it off. And I think that's been successful. We've spoken about the DEC issues. We've spoken about Suffolk County Water versus the Riverhead Water Department. And to the thing that was most interesting to me, you look at a guy like Ken Testa. I wouldn't have known him if I tripped over him 2 years ago. He knows more about renewable energy. And the ability to do that for profit on EPCAL, power purchase agreements and everything else, this guy can make us millions. Turning him loose and using EPCAL as a place to do that, I really think Ken is going to hit a monstrous home run. And there were things that Dawn was working on with the state that looked like they could be a good fit too. So this thing might very quickly become a situation where we're putting in renewable energy things, whether it's solar or whether it's battery energy storage or whether it's wind or whether it's geothermal, which is what Mark mentioned to me. I thought immediately about 20,000 leagues under the sea. But that's a little, but thinking about the way of doing that and all the property we have here, not knowing what the pollution ratios are in there from the former use, where these things might really be of ultimate benefit to the town because we don't have to disturb stuff for the future. But that's what we were thinking, Ken. This is not going to be every 4 or 6 weeks. I think it'll probably end up being pushed out to every 12 weeks once we start this thing. But anybody that comes to you and wants to see something, you tell them, look, let's get you on the schedule. You know there's a Liz pendens against EPCAL. There's nothing that we can do right now anyway except plan for it. So if you've got a
But I
plan.
appreciate it because you're not waiting. In other words, we're not going to be sitting idle, so we got to have a plan when.
It was his idea
or
from
does-
the start.
yeah.
What are we doing? I said, Tim, we're gonna win this in 3 months. He said, I'm not sure. So he knew, he was a lot more realistic about this than me. I just think we're right, they're wrong, and how long is it gonna take for them to figure that out? But I guess that's not the way the court system works. So
Let's stay ahead of it.
So that's our thought.
I gotta say, I appreciate the commitment that the team is making because a lot of work has gone into this. This looks like a couple pieces of paper right now, but to get to this place we're at now, you guys put a lot of hard work into it. You came back with the ideas, and we kicked it around, we tweaked, and this is what we got. And I think this is fantastic. I think it's going to be such a better way to try to develop that property is have the community involved with it right from the beginning. because as we know with the last time, it kind of came in, and then this thing was in everybody's face, and there really wasn't a lot of talk about what the community wanted or what they felt should be there. I think we all pretty much have a great idea that we want it to be prosperous. We want our young people to be able to get jobs, tech jobs that are maybe salaries are paying where they can afford to live here. We want to be kind to the environment because we know how sensitive that environment is up there in particular. And it was just a matter of getting it back on the tax rolls and helping the town out financially. And all this put together is going to come to fruition through what we've formed here. And now that we start going into subcommittees and adding subcommittees to this, we really can get a great idea of what we want up there versus what the market's going to allow to be up there. Because that's an important part of it too. We may want certain things, but if the market isn't bearing that at this current time, we may not be able to go that direction. But we'll be prepared to entertain and look at all the different variations of things that may be coming, and get a good grip on it and be transparent and upfront right from day one. And I think that's hugely important. So
Well, I think the
I
other part of
appreciate the
this-
time you guys are putting into
The other
this.
part of this, Tim, that we're gonna see is that in these subcommittees, we're gonna be getting subject matter experts from all over the footprint that are gonna be working in a voluntary manner. They're gonna be coming from civic associations, so that these people that come to sit and talk to us at a subcommittee level aren't just talking to us, they're going back to their board, look at what we're doing here. And then there's somebody at the beach you're sitting next to that was at the table. And I think that's going to create tremendous goodwill and tremendous positive vibes going forward. I really do.
I think any project or plan that gets the people involved
Right.
from early on, it just enhances the probability that you're going to have a buy-in, because the objections can be put on the table if there are objections, and you work through them. It's just, it just really saves everybody a lot of time, effort, frustration, and, you know.
I think that this team that the supervisor has put together, you are members of the community that other community members look up to. They respect you, they listen to you, they trust you. So it's important that you're a voice that's able to go back and say, this is what's going on, you know, all the information from the beginning. And it's a way for all of us to work together, and I think it's wonderful.
Well, these are the shakers and doers of the
Yep,
community.
absolutely.
And as many keyboard warriors as we have out there that like to sit back and do absolutely nothing, solve no problems, but like to throw their little comments down, we don't want those people. We want people who are encouraged and engaged within the town of Riverhead. And that certainly is the four of you have cared about everything. You come to meetings. You have a true interest in the town. And you do it through, you show your interest through the work that you do by getting involved and knowing what's going on. And that's what we really needed for this. We don't need somebody who's just going to, collect dust and come to a meeting and say, hey, I'm on that committee. We want the shakers and doers, and we got the four best shakers and doers right now.
Well, thanks, Tim. We know a lot of good people too, and they're anxious. They are. I mean, Mark has got people on an environmental and philanthropic basis that I think really has never been tapped before. We're talking about, there's an expense for maintaining the habitat. So we've got all these deep-pocketed people on the South Shore that give millions of dollars in Zimbabwe and to places for habitat protection. You don't think they're going to want to throw $1 million or $2 million in here and put up a plaque thanks to whatever deep pockets guy is so we can bring his son there to see it? It's a natural, and those people are going to be brought to the table. And I think that's where the financial aspect of this really hits a home run. I really think it's going to come together very well. We just got to, get the shackles off, get 555 in the rearview mirror, get that case beat, and onward we go.
I think it's great because you're going to provide knowledge to the community and thwart off negative perceptions when people don't know what's going on. That's the part that's going to be great.
It's huge,
You will
Denise.
get
It's
ahead of
huge.
it and create the actual knowledge instead of perceptions
Rooms.
that just take everything down.
No question. And when you look again, some of the issues we got hit with in January was the negative impact of an all-Republican board. Some of the Democrats instantly turned negatron, thinking political, and we stopped it. We said, we're not going to do this. You're not gonna question the supervisor's resolve on beating 555. You're not gonna question the supervisor and the town board's resolve in opening up government. You have to watch what they do. You got a criticism? Fine, go to the microphone, but don't assume that they're going to be screwing the public by what they're doing. Clearly, your actions have spoken as loud as all words, and that's what makes our job a hell of a lot easier to defend it when it happens.
I'm just going to say it a different way. There's no room at this table for politics in any way, shape, or form, and we put that out there from the very beginning.
Amen.
It won't be tolerated because it's not productive.
Good ideas are good ideas. It doesn't matter what political party they come from. If they're good ideas, they're good ideas.
And
that's
people
what you have to
sign on.
remember.
Yeah,
Right.
people have to sign on to, what is being put forward here and be consistent and stick to the
Good.
plan, if you will.
Yeah, that's why this works,
Exactly.
because there's nothing on there that identifies what party you're on.
Right. Absolutely. Well, thank you, folks.
Thank you. I'm
We
gonna
really
leave the extra
appreciate it.
copies here. If you need any autographs on them later, come see me.
Thanks for volunteering too.
Oh,
was that?
and
Thanks for volunteering.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much.
revisionepcal@gmail.com.
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 Test it out. See how long it takes for us to get back to you. You I might ignore just because you kept me waiting a week, but everybody else is good.
Jay Waskey.
Thank you very much, Tim.
Thank you.
Don't happen without you, pal. It don't happen without you.
Doesn't happen without you guys.
Jay.
Thank you so much.
different occasions sent it to you personally. I know I didn't want to do that.
Okay, last but certainly not least, we have Kristy, Verity, and Wendy Weiss. Matters surrounding update on the bid and East End Arts happenings. Come on up, ladies. How are we?
That's okay.
It's nice to meet you, by the way.
Likewise.
This is
In your
Wendy's
new
first
role.
work session.
Thank you, yes.
How's it going?
Feels like a bit like drinking through a fire hose at the moment, but I'm very excited to be here
Good.
and lead Eastern Arts to a new chapter.
For those who don't know, Diane Burke left the East End Arts for another position, and Wendy is her successor, and we wish you nothing but the best, and we certainly want to work with you any way we can.
Thank you.
Okay?
So I'll start off today, Kristy Verity with the Riverhead bid. Pleasure to be presenting here with Wendy. We've worked on a lot of projects together, and it's exciting to continue the arts downtown and support each other in our endeavors. First, I want to give a quick bid update. We had our executive election last night, so we have some new, standing executives and some new people on board. The president remains Sean Kenna for another term.
Okay.
Vice President Gary Heigem from Suffolk Theater, and Treasurer Linda Lombardi with M&T Bank. So we're excited to have them on board. We are still seeking a secretary, and the secretary position, the executive positions, does not have to be somebody on the board of directors or within the bid district. So if there's anybody interested in joining the bid and working with us, even outside of downtown, we welcome them, and please send a letter of interest to myself, hello@downtownriverhead.org, or the contact form on our website. Let's see, we also had our June election, which was the general election for the Board of Directors, and we have two new board members, Mark McLaughlin, who is part of the Anti-Bias Task Force and many things with the town of Riverhead and downtown, and Amanda Capobianco, who is with Richmond Realty. So excited to have them both on board. I'll do a quick debrief with Alive on 25. We had Friday, July 5th. Fantastic weather for the event. Everything went very well. A big thank you to the police department, the fire department, ambulance, fire marshal, town electrician Billy Merker, who is wonderful with us from start to finish, and all of our volunteers and sponsors. We appreciate everyone coming together. Like it takes a village, it's certainly a lot of hands on board. And
It takes a village, but I have to tell you, you don't have a village helping you. And you took a lot on yourself, and this was a huge success, July 5th, as they all have been. But it was extra special because you're working this harder by yourself, so to speak, with less help than you've probably ever have had. And you did an incredible job.
Thank you.
That needs to be recognized because that was a great Alive on 25. It was packed. Vendors were excited, the restaurants made money. It was good all the way around. The entertainment was good.
Yeah.
It was just a good night.
Thank
So,
you.
Once again.
I have to, give credit to my two assistants, Jessica Rera and Jessica Simmons, who are wonderful.
Yes, I apologize for not
well-oiled
mentioning her, that's true.
machine with them now. Also Steve Sugar, he's still dedicated to downtown and Riverhead in many
Yep.
ways, and he did volunteer that day. He was on the street with me again, helping with food trucks and fire marshals and things like that. So, but I do appreciate the
Great
credit
job.
for that, and thank you. Also, East End Arts was one of our stages there, speaking of entertainment. So they were set up in front of Mugs on Main, and we'll be there again next month, August 9th, for our next Live on 25, and we'll have a laser show then over Town Square, so that's exciting. It's the same company that did the laser show in Calverton over the holiday season.
Oh, right,
So
okay.
this will be taking place in Town Square, and the lasers are set to kind of bounce off the buildings of the Bid Chamber office and the Science Center. So I feel like it really aligns with Reflections and a lot of the other art initiatives that we're doing downtown. So, we hope to have the same turnout for that. We're also looking for sponsors still with that, and one of the exciting things is that you can have your logo made in lasers and a part of the show. So, anyone that is interested in supporting that, and again, all of those profits that we have from Live on 25 are reallocated into downtown grant matches, capital improvements, beautification, things like that, and supporting other organizations, sponsorships like East End Arts Mosaic Fest, Shakespeare in the Park, which is coming up next Wednesday, Cardboard Boat Race. So it all kind of comes together. Let's see, what else?
Kristy, if somebody wants to get a hold of you, is it hello@downtownriverhead.org?
.org, yes.
Okay.
And then downtownriverhead.org, the contact form that's listed on that comes directly to me as well.
Okay, good.
For over a year now, we've been doing monthly collaboration meetings with some downtown directors. We have myself on behalf of the Bid, Wendy with East End Arts, Gary Heigen with Suffolk Theater. We have some town representation, the Chamber of Commerce, Recreation Department, and so on. So we've been working together to, coordinate events and happenings downtown, communicate with each other, supporting each other, and that's, kind of where a lot of the Bid East End Arts collaboration has been happening, and there's been, so much more collaboration and communication than we've seen in the past between all of the groups, so things are going great. So with that said, I'll hand it over to Wendy because we are partnering on an event at East End Arts Campus in a few weeks.
I wanted to start to just get to know you, let you get to know me a little bit and a little bit of my personal background. I am from Bridgehampton, and I currently reside there from a long lineage of tradesmen and farmers and small business owners. I have personal connection here to Riverhead. I was born at Central Suffolk. I graduated Mercy High School. I had a NASCAR pit license at Riverhead Raceway because my family had a race team there, with Legends race team. So, and I never thought I would be here working in Riverhead ever. And I'm so glad that I am. I started with East End Arts about 4.5 years ago, actually as a board member, when I moved back home from 15 years in Boston. And after a year of being on the board, I joined the team, right, as COVID pandemic was kind of lifting. And since then, I've really been, really enamored with the potential of the area that East End Arts is in, this downtown area. The potential there is just, I'm spellbound by it, really. And so I've been striving to bring up the value of East End Arts through the position that I had, which was through gallery and membership and community initiatives, and then, in turn, bring up the value of the area. It's got such great ingredients, and just like the future is so bright there. And, and it's definitely been coming to fruition slowly but surely. This past member show in January, we had 300 people come downtown to January to the opening and go back and forth between our galleries on East Main and West Main. We have a lot of putting a lot of traffic into the small businesses here, which is something near and dear to me, coming from small business. And utilizing the town spaces, collaborating with the other organizations and companies around. It's all things that we've really just been putting together. And East End Arts has a really rich history in the area and a really riddled history in the area. And I try to just leverage the legacy of what it was meant to be, and ignore all of the stuff that it maybe wasn't when it wasn't in its primes. We just were at the Hamptons Fine Art Fair as the only community gallery represented there, which was fantastic. And I'll tell you, we definitely were contenders. We had a really solid booth. We had 5 amazing established artists. They all sold works, so they were very happy, which makes me very happy. And we got a lot of attention to the organization and to this area too. And we also have been working really hard I have been working really hard to kind of unite the North and the South Forks, because that's kind of a value proposition that we as an arts organization on the East End bring to the table. They all have their different centers and museums and those kind of things, but there's nobody that's really trying to braid the communities together, and that's starting to happen. So one of the places where you'll see that is at this event that Kristy mentioned coming up, which is our summer soiree. We just got word yesterday that the Corey Foundation is going to be the title sponsor, so we're very grateful to that.
Great people.
Amazing
Great people.
Yeah, amazing. So this is on August 3rd, and I'd really like to invite all of you to come as my guests. It's kind of become this unofficial celebration of my new role there. It's right on our campus, at the river. It's a tented event. It's lively, it's bright, it's fun. The East End Arts bands and musicians will be playing on stage. And you really get a great taste of the people that are interested in the area. And, I really work to make sure that East End Arts balances this inclusion and excellence. I don't believe that the two need to be mutually exclusive. I think we're doing a really good job of that. And also when it comes to maybe the more local people, that, arts doesn't have to be something that's eccentric beyond practicality, nor does it have to be something that's elite, beyond reach. It's really for everyone, and it's to, inspire and aspire. And, and I love the idea of doing more of that here with all of you. So thank you.
You're very welcome.
What time
Thank
will
you.
that be on the
It's
3rd?
at 6 p.m. I have brought some flyers, and we'll send a follow-up email to you.
Because
as
8
well.
p.m. starts the reflections in the
Right, which is
That's
perfect.
Yes.
3rd is a busy day downtown. We have the
The boat
harbor
race.
boat race in the morning, the summer soiree,
That's great.
and the reflections going on at the same time. So
great.
a lot of traffic downtown for sure.
I think you arrive at a perfect time frame for East End Arts in terms of just looking out into the future with our recent grant and the work that's been done through the CDA and the development now. Like I hope that this fall we'll start putting shovels in the ground for our new town square, but I know through all the development process, East End Arts has constantly been a focus of it and how it will fit into the master plan for the town square, and the outdoor amphitheater and the location of existing buildings in there. So you are prominently very much a part of the whole process. So I think you sit on the brink of some really great things about to come forward.
I agree.
And so it'll be a pleasure to work with you, but I think it's just gonna, you got good timing.
Yeah.
This is a great
And I
time
think
in
also
Riverhead.
the-
We're really, things are about to happen.
Absolutely, and I think the work that we've been doing the past, 5 years since Diane kind of really took the reins, is also contributing to that. It's just all coming together
And
really,
she
really
did great
well.
work
She
all
was-
around, and so I know you'll continue that same work. But that's just it takes time, and we've been saying for the last year, right, that there's so much work going on in the Community Development Agency, and it's not always out there in the public. And people don't see people drive by the town square and they go, "What happens next?" And they see the East End Art buildings. What happens next? And I think it's about all to come out very, very shortly.
The
And you can very
enthusiasm
much
is
be
there.
part of it,
Oh,
yeah.
it is.
It's such an
is.
exciting time
Yeah.
for downtown Riverhead right now.
Yeah.
Just
So I'm glad
see-
that you're a part of it.
Thank you.
to
Thank
see
you.
the future events and the utilization of that space behind the building as well as for, the display of artwork and everything inside. So I think it's just going to coordinate well.
Yeah.
And
Can you really take him serious? Though,
I know.
It's kind of hard to.
I agree.
If he can deal with my striped glasses, I can deal with it.
He can pull it off. I will say that he can pull it off. Ken can.
But I just really there's going to be so much happening, and I think that the town realizes that you are going to be very instrumental, when I say you, the entire East End Arts, for bringing people to the town square. And so we have to provide you with that platform and that workspace area to do that. And so it's really going to be a great partnership between, and that's always been that way since the very early stages of discussion of how do we go forward with town square? How do we can build a town square, but how do we get people to come there? How do we get them to want to be there and develop? And East End Arts is a great.
Yeah, we'll just continue to build the market.
Right.
Just keep
Exactly.
building the market.
Great. But you got a lot of work ahead of you in terms of, because we're going to be really
Not afraid of
moving
work.
and developing. Yeah, so it's going to be good. Yep.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you very much.
Best of luck to you, and anything we can do as a board, please let us know.
Thank you.
Both of you, I know that.
And I said it to Kristy as well. I mean, the same thing with bid and everything you guys are doing down there. It's like, with everything, it's all come together. All the United
it's all
Parties down there.
collective, So I think.
So you've done
you know,
phenomenal
they'll
work
feel
as
that
well,
way.
so not to leave you out.
No,
You've
no,
done
not
great
at all,
work.
not at all. Sing praises to everyone
Yep.
downtown. And talking about, collective, East End Arts will be performing this evening on
right.
Townscape Summer Stage in Town Square, so 7 p.m.?
Yeah, 7 p.m.
7 p.m.
It's the band that won the Battle of the Bands for the Southampton Youth Bureau. They'll play some of your favorite tunes, I'm sure, and it's incredible
Awesome.
to see
Sure.
the talent
Chairs
and hard work of
Yes.
these kids.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, yeah. All right,
Awesome.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies, appreciate
Enjoy
it.
the rest of your day.
We get like the Austin Power side of things, and for the laser light show, group of lasers on trucks in the aquarium.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, you're always thinking.
It is hard to take him serious.
He's wearing a skirt.
I'm glad there's not been any really serious issues.
Right. We'll have to take that. We'll have to take that off.
I can't catch a break because then I turn and look at Devin. Looks like a pheasant. You look like a pheasant.
The general public can't see, but I am not alone today.
All right, we are a happy group today.
Yes.
And for good reason. There's so many good things going on in the town, and the town is moving so far forward. It's incredible. And I know we're all anxious for the shovels to get in the ground on the town square. And hopefully this spring it's going to happen. And, such good things. I just can't stress that enough. And a great board to work with, too, by the way. It really is. That ends everything we have for open session today. Make a motion to close the work session agenda, and we're going to go into executive session to discuss a personnel matter with matters surrounding the change in status of an employee, and that will be with myself.
Make that motion?
So, motion?
Motion?
Second? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Okay, work session is closed, and we're going to go into executive session. Thank you, everybody, and have a great weekend.